All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to PreMarket Prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. And I know that was tough to do because the market was not all that fun. Good morning, Thor. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, good man. Just taking an eye at the market here, seeing if anything happens here. We just had some initial jobless claims numbers come in. We're looking at, let's see here. I just had it pulled up and then it switched on me. Hold on.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Yep. No worries.
Actual is 164K versus 171. So a little down.
All right.
So estimate was 172. So it looks like we were a little bit underestimate. So should be pretty interesting to see how the market reacts to that. What's interesting about it is you kind of think of that as being a really good thing, but generically, when the Fed raises interest rates, that creates unemployment as a byproduct. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how everyone will take that news that we have less unemployment because the Fed isn't able to adjust for that. So that means their efforts to lower inflation may not be going as well either. So we'll have to really see how the market reacts to this. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's not. But we'll have to see what the big boys think and how they start to roll into some positions here in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely a lot going on this morning. You also got the banking finance situation that's, it's like it's catching fire quite quickly. You have the issue now with Europe and the Credit Suisse, and they have a decision coming up actually at 9. So we'll see if the central bank decision there on their rate hike, how that's going to affect us over here. Because again, everything, although they're not in the U.S., what tends to happen in other financial sectors can also happen here. So it's just a lot of concerns with these banking and financial situation now. So we'll see. That's going to be at 9. They're going to be reporting what their decision is as far as the hikes, and they actually made a decision to bail out Credit Suisse, so they're up this morning quite a bit. So we'll see. We'll see what continues to happen, guys. But definitely a lot developing, a lot going on. So staying around and having your pulse on the news is very, very important to kind of see what is happening in areas that can affect you here. Our gappers list this morning, guys. We have some stuff in the green today. Yeah, Rasila, 50 billion. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Right here, the gap up list this morning, we got quite a bit on there. We have Snap up 5.8. So we'll see what's happening there. Path, I don't remember. I'm not familiar with that one. And then Bitcoin must be up because I got Coin and Mara both here up slightly.
Hmm.
Now, on the down side of things, these banks continue to have some real problems. Here's FRC, which is the one that kind of started everything for the most part, down 27.7 after it crawled back out yesterday, and they're back down this morning. So again, just careful trading this stuff, guys. I mentioned it yesterday how volatile they can be. I think there are some plays that we could take advantage of, but these ones are being impacted directly. Like first, what's this is First National. What's the other one? The other one is a SVB, also an issue. So well, that one
Hmm.
is halted, but that's one that started everything. But be careful. Some other ones too on there, like Pac W is another one. It's a few other smaller type banks that are a big, big problem. So careful with those. All right, let's take a look here at yesterday's action. I'm actually not too happy to look at yesterday's action. It was so bad, guys. It was so bad. But let's take a look here. It's it is what it is. We had a great day on was it Monday or Tuesday actually. And yes, it was just not all that exciting. So let's take a look at Tesla. Here's Tesla. I mean, just look at the start of this thing. It just there's nothing happening here. Very, very stressful. I did not take any trade on this one. My trade was actually on AMD, and it did not work out. I'll show that in a second. But here's was a song and dance at least for the first 2 hours of the market, which is when I trade, and it's just there's nothing going on. Finally, it did something towards the later parts of the day. It looks like the afternoon, and I haven't seen this yet. The afternoon looks like it has something happening, at least a breakout, some continuation.
Yeah, that's where we got good, Carlos. Because
Yeah,
I do my session around 1 p.m. and we
that's
caught the
right.
bottom on the market right around 1 p.m. perfectly. So we were able to get a really nice rally into the close yesterday.
Beautiful, man. Yeah, it looks like in the afternoon there was pretty decent. So nice stuff there. Here's Nvidia, same thing. I mean, just not the easiest trade to take. Actually, it had a beautiful run. Again, one
Right
o'clock.
around 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
And
Look
we,
at
we, we started
yeah,
getting around 1, and we had a really fun and active trading time from like 1 till into the close because finally we waited all, it felt like we were waiting all day for the market to wake up a little bit.
yeah. At least decide up or down, but don't do sideways. You don't like that so much. Coin, actually, coin. This is a nice rip here. I don't know. I wasn't looking at it. I guess I missed it. But not a bad takeoff there on the coin. AMD. Here's was my trade. We're looking for a 5 minute opening range breakout. We just didn't get the continuation, and then it just goes sideways, guys. It's really nothing happening. You get a couple of moves over to 87.75, which would have been good if you had the perfect entry from here. But again, 1 o'clock, as you mentioned, Thor, look at this beautiful run here towards the top there, like many tickers had. And last of the list was Meta, and again, just the start. If you're a morning trader, yesterday was a tough trade, or if you ran out of ammo early, it would have been tough to take advantage of the
Hmm.
later parts of the day. So, um, but yeah, that's what we had yesterday. Thor, you kind of spoke a little bit of some of the financial stuff going on, and guys, apologies for the U.S. economic calendar. That's updated by Peter. We're gonna get rid of that or do something. Maybe I'll put my camera there. We'll do something else. But that's not up to date. But yeah, we got some stuff going on. Some numbers
No.
came out. We also got
Yeah.
ECB in about 20 minutes. What else is happening?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what's going on right now. Is we're looking at the jobless numbers. We got some manufacturing index stuff hitting at the same time. So jobless, kind of what we're looking at right now is to see kind of in the pre-market how things start to set up into the open with that information. A lot of us we kind of watch these numbers because as the Fed raises interest rates, although uncomfortable to talk about, the generic byproduct of raising the interest rates is you tend to make people lose jobs. So to kind of as something we're looking for in order to see if the interest rate hikes are working, and if that is working, is to see the jobless claims actually increase. So the fact that we're seeing jobless claims drop means that we're still kind of outpacing a little bit. So which means easing, right? So
Yeah.
I don't, luckily I'm a day trader, so I'm not too worried about that part. But at the side of things, though, that's going to have a big deal to do with kind of what the broader market thinks today. So those jobless claims are I think are going to have a bit of impact on the market in general. So it'll be interesting to see what happens overall. And then we've got, of course, our tech sector stocks are picking up a little bit here with some interesting stuff. So could be good.
Yeah, could be interesting. So we will definitely keep track of things here. Um, Hold on. Am I? Oh yeah, good. All right, I thought I was on mute for a second. All right, excellent, guys. Let's get to it. Let's dive into our list and see what we can find here. We will start with first of all, let me link my trade ideas. 1 second. That's gonna help me move a little bit faster. And notice that's not linked. So yeah, let's get rid of our older tickets from yesterday. Control A, Control X gets that done. By the way, this is a Dash Trader Pro platform. If you're wondering what platform we're using, here is our gappers list. Let's start with Path. What is Path? Oh, this is yeah, UiPath. I've seen this before. Usually I dismiss it. The volume is very light. Doesn't trade very well. They got a big gap up, 15.86
Yeah,
this
they
morning.
had earnings,
Yeah. Oh, that's
so
earning play.
that's what's
Okay.
got them going. They actually got some earnings going.
All right. Um, Maybe today could be their day if they're going to trade any type of action, but for the most part, these guys are not great when it comes to their volume. But let me see. What the previous time they gapped up was here, December, and they ran for a little bit. Looks like a dollar run the entire day. Again, can't tell how clean that was, but they had significant volume. So maybe if you get this type of volume, maybe you can get a good movement out of this. Looks like when we get anything above 10, or for the most part,
It
you
could be
are getting
easily one
something
of those
decent.
ones that does all of its movement after hours too, and then just ends up
Yeah.
getting stuck here because it went right to the top of its last month's range. So
Yeah,
basically, as
good
soon as the
point.
news came
Yeah.
out, it went right to the ceiling from last month and stopped. So it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see how much further, if much further, it can go. It might actually sell. It might be one of those sell the news things where it gaps up, and because of the sudden price change, it actually sells off all day because anyone who bought in, let's say, back in the beginning of the year down around $11 to $12, they're like, ooh, $17, let's
Oh
make some
yeah.
money.
Absolutely. So be careful with that one, guys. I don't like the price action on this one now, so I'm gonna stay away from it. I think today we're gonna have a lot of fun with some other tickets we have on here. Here is Snap. So Snap is up. It looks like something went on last night. Is this because of the banning of TikTok? Snap is getting
So yep,
excited. Is that what
yeah,
it
so
is? Okay.
Meta gets a little bit, Snap gets a little bit, and
Yep.
it's basically the TikTok ban has migrated across the pond,
Mm-hmm.
and it's starting to be brought up over in the UK,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
bit, or quite a bit. Now it's starting to hit over there. So yeah, that's TikTok is absolutely one of the most widely and actively interfaced with applications, hands down, right
Oh
now.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure some of these other tech companies would love a little piece of a little bit more of that pie.
That's
But
it's a
TikTok right now has
lot
got
of
it going, man. They know what they're doing.
it's just
So
a lot
so
of viewers are going to be available that want to find a home because man, TikTok is big. My,
they're gonna be jonesing for that digital
the
good
fix, the
stuff,
digital
man.
fix. They're gonna go somewhere else. Someone else gonna provide that. Got to be the dealer and provide
Get
that
that
fix there.
dopamine. Got to get that
Abs-
dopamine.
Absolutely. So yeah, so these guys taking advantage of that. We'll see how that goes. I mean, the government wants them to sell shares. I don't know how that fixes the problem of information by them selling shares, but it's interesting. It was not a whole lot of information said about what exactly they want the Chinese company to do here, but yeah, I don't know how big this is going to be right now. But Meta's been trading decent, so I don't mind having Meta on my list. Snap, I don't like at all. Snap, I think it's a piece
Mm,
of and yeah. So
piece of
I'm not
snap.
gonna yeah, exactly piece of Snap. So I'm not gonna really be looking at that. So let's take a look at Becky here. Becky this morning we are up 6.2, and this is not looking great,
Also, earnings
guys.
play.
Also earnings play. Oh wow, yeah, it's not looking good at all. Earnings when was this last night
Or let's see. I don't have the
or
timing
this
in
morning?
here.
When
I think it's this morning.
it was this morning. Okay, did it
Yeah.
actually happen already? I mean, nothing's going on with this thing at the
Yeah,
moment.
it's not exciting.
All right,
Like,
nothing's happening. All right, we'll skip on this. Um,
yeah,
let's take a
unless they
look
didn't
at
release, they may not have released the information yet because I still see in the news like earnings
yeah,
previews. I don't see the actual numbers yet, so maybe they haven't announced yet,
yeah, yeah. All right, so yeah, they're not looking good right now. We'll
but
see
they're
what
supposed
happens
to.
if that changes. I mean, they're up 6.2 with no announcement yet. It's kind of a little gamble there, but we'll see what takes place. Oh,
Ravzilla has a good point. We need to be
mm-hmm.
very delicate when we speak about BEKE. We wouldn't want to hurt Brian Pesum's feelings.
Who?
This,
I'm
Brian
kidding.
Pesum, our prophet of profit. You know how much he loves Becky.
I know how much he loves trading it, but he's not gonna care less about Becky at all. He would throw it under the bus as fast as he can if it doesn't act the way he likes it.
That's true.
LPSN, LPSN. Here, guys, we're down 47%, guys, 924,000. This is a live person. I never heard of this ticker, but it's Live Person Inc. And nothing live about this stock right now. It looks pretty much dead as far as the gap down. What's the news on this thing? What's taking place here? Let's go to trading
Surprise loss
terminal.
in revenue decline as Medicare suspending reimbursements pending review. So,
Mm,
okay. So Medicare. So this is. I was wondering if this was going to start to impact it. I was reading this article that Medicare is looking at suspending some of the reimbursements so that have been filed in. So this is lingering all the way back into COVID and stuff like that for some of
mm,
these. But it appears that LPSN for some reason is a part of this or is getting look into this. But yeah, they're taking a lot of loss. So I think
interesting.
it looks like they did some kind of an announcement, and they basically are saying, hey, not going so great.
Yeah, yeah. Not looking good for them. I don't know how well this is going to trade, guys. Extremely light volume. If you look at the charts here, most of their days are just barely above 2 million. Again, today they already have almost a million, so it could be a different type of play today. But again, also under $5, lower price ticker. A very weak possible. Again, this thing has dropped a lot already. I don't know how much play is going to have left to continue on the downside, or maybe an overreaction. Maybe we can get a squeeze. We will have to see. A very
Yeah, they
weak
even
possible for
in
now.
February they rescheduled their earnings to now in
Hmm.
March. So it's,
Hmm.
they've been on this like downward, plunge.
Yeah,
It looks like as I roll through the news, there's like stuff going all the way kind of back into
yeah,
early February where they were starting to take the pressure. And you can see on your chart, that's basically early February. There's a
yeah.
gap up and then down.
Yeah,
And we've
has
been
not been
going down
great.
ever since.
Yeah. Not a typical ticker, guys. I do like the volume and the drop this morning. I wish it would have been a higher price stock, or that we had at least some days of some good action, but we will have to come back to that one. Let's take a look here at a FRC. As we know, this thing has been all over the place. Probably will get halted today at the market open. It's down another 32% here. It is on SSR already. You guys know how I feel about this. This is gambling at this point because you don't know what kind of news is going to come out unexpectedly, or you're going to get one of these halts like we did with SIVP. It's just not worth tying up your capital on something like this, even if you're right, right? Even if you're in the right situation, it's just not worth it. Also, if you guys remember SIVP, right? SIVB. These guys got halted. They dropped down to 30. They got halted there, and now they closed it out at 106. I wonder if anybody was sure. Are you getting that win, or are they just gonna give you back the money you put in? I wonder how that plays out when something like this takes place. So I wonder if anybody in our community was taking this short at that time. But either way, it's ugly, guys. Just be careful. Very, very
I like it
careful. You don't
when
want
you
to be
look at
stuck.
the web pages and the news takers, and under analyst
Mhm.
recommendations, it's still a strong buy.
I'm sure. Yeah.
They just haven't updated all that
Yeah.
stuff yet, but it's still pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it is funny. Yeah, I'm not touching this, guys, but it is fun for entertainment purposes and to see how other banking sectors are being affected, right? So if you look at the bigger guys, right, the two big not to fail type guys, Bank of America, JP Morgan, these guys, they have some volatility over the last couple of days. I think eventually they'll settle down a little bit here, but if you want to play the banking sector, these are a little bit more stable and more safe than these FRC situations. So be careful.
Hmm.
Pack W is another one, also down today 17%. So again, not having a whole lot of fun there. WA that's a bunch of these. WAL is another one as well. So I'm gonna skip on that one. Here's Baidu. Baidu's gapping down 5.7. What's the latest and greatest? Do we have anything good on this? This could be a hit or
Let's.
miss at times. On Baidu.
They It says that after company reveals a Chat GPT rival,
Hmm.
and they went down.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
that must not have been a good reveal. Hold on,
That
I'm
was not
reading. Give me a
smart.
minute.
Yeah. All right, we look at that. We'll look at Shell next, and the Shell here is down 3.5. This is Royal Dutch Shell. Again, there's better tickers to trade. How about
Okay.
Oxy? Oxy looks
So yeah,
active today.
so what happened was basically everyone has been kind of getting a little stoked about Baidu in anticipation. They have a new AI bot they're calling Ernie that they've been kind of pushing, that they're developing, and it looks kind of cute, like one of those little white airport robots with a little face. But anyway, it's supposed to be all AI. But during the presentation, I guess the CEO made called Ernie bot not perfect. And said, but it's a work in progress. And I think that was kind of not the right phrase to use. So that's kind of what we got going on.
You used to write. He didn't read off the teleprompter there. That's not good.
I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah, maybe he threw the wrong word in there,
yeah,
but
gotta read off the teleprompter. You don't want to say something that's gonna trigger the algo. So here, so yeah, so there you have it with Baidu. We'll see how big that news is going to be. I mean, it's not a huge mover, but the market didn't like it. They're down 5.6 this morning. So top possible for right now. Looking at Oxy and some other ones. I mean, Oxy's not doing a whole lot at the moment. They do have 300,000 shares traded, which for Oxy can actually be really good. So maybe a possible for now if anything comes out of that camp. All right, we got some more oil companies here. We got BP as well. Now BP, this one
mhm.
I gotta tell you, when they get the volume, they can do pretty good stuff. So right now 323,000. They got some movement here. Yeah, might be worth taking a look at today. So as we're
Well,
dropping
I
here,
think
so
I think the oil, like, and energy sector, and I think these are gonna potentially go into play fairly
yeah,
soon, because you got, I mean, some of the top performing stocks of last year were these oil and energy stocks, and they went from basically where we are right now, like Oxy, for instance, went from $57 all the way to $75, and these actually offer dividends as well. Some of these BP and Oxy, for instance, both offer dividends. So these vehicles, will look very attractive, I think, to a lot of our long term participants. which means they could potentially become attractive to us as they start to scoop up those positions.
Yeah.
So I actually think maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. These we're going to start seeing some movement in these energy sector ones.
Yeah. And Dave from Connecticut just reminded me that's right. The reason I don't see the 30 on SIV B is because it was pre-market. So if you go to a maybe a 60-minute chart or a 5-minute chart, you'll be able to see that it does drop to 30. So it still should be there. But on the 5-minute, I don't think I can go back that far. Or I can. Oh, yeah. So I got cut off at 82 here. Okay. So yeah. So it's lower than that one or something. But it was even lower than this, guys, right? This thing went down all the way to, I think it was like, was it 30 at one point? Maybe I'm confusing it, but yeah. But there you have it, guys. Just be, again, the idea is here, be very, very careful. All right, so there we have it. That's our gap up and gap down list. I see SQ making some noise here. This is block, and they are up 2.1, but just barely getting any volume. So I don't see anything that's good there. All right, let's take a look at Thor. What do you have this morning that you like so far?
So right now, for me, I'm gonna be looking at playing the market. So we'd be talking Spire Qs, or in my instance, I like using futures. So this would be MNQ M3 for the micro E minis, MES M3. But I'm really kind of liking. I can always toss Tesla on there for something fun to watch. But I'm probably gonna keep an eye on. I'm gonna probably watch Meta, and see if anything, kind of as a proxy to Snap. I don't really like playing Snap, but I might keep an eye on Meta to see if any of that news makes things move around. And then, other than that, I'm going to wait for things to open up and just kind of see what fires in. I don't have anything that's just like really jumping out at me. How about you? Do you have anything that you're loving right now?
No, I really like Meta at the moment, and Tesla. I mean, we had such a bad start for the time frame that I trade. I have it on here, but hopefully we
Mm,
can get going. Now, notice Tesla. It is 5 minutes to 9. We only have 1.4 million shares traded. If you guys remember, every time I read Tesla around this time, we usually have 3 to 4, 5 million very easily. So the volume is dried up a little bit pre-market, and the daily too is just slightly. Again, what is it? 140 million is still a lot. It's not 230, but it's
mhm.
still quite a bit. But the pre-market very lighter than usual as far as volume, right? That's the lowest I think I've seen it at this time in the pre-market. So not
So
sure if that means anything.
Tesla for me, along with a lot
Yeah.
of these stocks, like Tesla is basically sitting right on the monthly line, which we call it's S4 for us, cam traders, which is basically our breaking point between bullish and bearish, more or less, longing and shorting, and it is sitting right there on the daily. What I find interesting is a lot of our tech stocks on their dailies are sitting at the very top of their ranges. So I'm really curious to see once we open what the market does, because it would not take very much to reject and sell off today, just based on where all these tech stocks are sitting at. But we push just a little bit higher, and I'm only talking a couple of bucks for the tech stocks and Tesla, and a couple of these we go up just a dollar or two, and these things start going into some very attractive looking buying ranges. So it's one of those interesting things that's hard to grab with day trading. And you guys in YouTube, you have to work on this. Sometimes you actually buy higher, and you sell lower, because these when you get into these extension of ranges, the trading probabilities for day traders become much higher. So I think we could have another choppy open, kind of like we did yesterday, a little non-convicted, and then momentum traders, keep that in mind. We might bounce around a bit, but once we get going, we're in an area where if we make a decision to go in a direction, we could easily just run. So we just got to be patient and make sure we get the right direction.
Yeah, yeah, that's the key. Get the right direction. All right, friends. So here we are. The Tesla definitely on deck this morning. Let's take it to the room. See what you guys like today. Let's start with you. Paul D from the West Coast is saying AMD in here in our chat. AMD, look, man, this was the one that definitely got away yesterday from me. So you can see here how beautiful it turned out to be later parts of the afternoon. Real nice. And not everything had a continuation like this. There was a couple, and it looks like the semis over the last 2 days, man, they've been really strong.
Mhm.
They were strong before yesterday. Monday, not so hot, looks like, but man, the last was this Monday. Yeah, this Monday. The last 2 days, really nice here. So, yeah, I like AMD. We do have some decent volume, 428,000. Nvidia is usually a good one too. What I like about Nvidia is their daily also, right? So look at their daily, how well this is setting up here for a nice breakout. So I'll add Nvidia there as well this morning. Um, Okay, perfect. So, oh yeah, so there it is. So the rate decision is at 9:15 from the ECB, and then press conference at 9:45. Okay, perfect. All right, so we'll be on the lookout for that. Let's take a look here. So that's AMD. What else we have, guys? Microsoft. Microsoft has been on a run. Yeah, yeah. These tech companies, right? Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD, both have this great week so far. I mean, they're
So,
crushing it. You know.
yeah, but Microsoft, so like on Microsoft, this is one of the things that concerns me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
266.63. So it is our monthly R4. So this is our breakout delimiter,
Yeah.
basically, where we kind of expect it to go to and then stall. So we're right here, and the order book is actually a little bit bearish right now. So I'd be interested to see if we open a little weak, if Microsoft doesn't try and come back down to maybe even 263 or something like that. It can still rally today, but it'll be interesting to see if it has to come back down a little bit because it's all the way out the edge of its range. So it'd
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
really interesting to see if it tries to break today or not. But we're going to need some volume on this thing to break it, and we don't have that yet.
Yeah, yeah, we definitely don't. They did decent yesterday as far as the overall ending volume for the day. Let's see if they continue. But I really like AMD and Nvidia today, and Microsoft is another one too that looks great. But I want to leave some space for some other stuff as well. On the tech side of things, and I was just looking at Apple. It's funny we haven't put Apple on our list in a very long time. We kind of been not avoiding it, but
Mhm.
it's just it hasn't been all that
Avoiding's
great.
the right word. It's okay.
That's the right word, right?
It's the right
So
word. We've
yeah,
been
so
avoiding it.
it's just I don't know, but their daily's not
Look at its
bad.
daily chart right now. I mean,
Yeah,
look how choppy the daily chart is, and when it went down in the lower levels, all the candles were
yeah.
super small and tight. I mean,
No, yeah,
we're not doing
this is
anything right now.
horrible. Yeah. As far as the breakout though, this breakout on the dailies, this part's not bad. Yeah, the daily candles are horrible, but this part here for possible breakout is not bad. Not a bad setup, but you're just not getting it. You're just not getting the breakout. So I
Yeah,
don't
that
know.
that top wick on February, that big candle, that top wick
Yeah,
went right into our R4. So this is
yeah.
what I'm talking about how
Feel that
strong our
pressure.
daily R4 is. The next R4 was 156.24, which happened to be the top of the next wick that came out of range in March.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So the next one, that's R4 touch. And then that one right there hit an R4 too, just for the next month's calculated cams. So we're basically just banging into the top of a range and we're just been hitting it, dropping off, hitting it, but no gas to get out
yeah.
of this thing at all. It seems like we kind of found a nice little value spot on Apple. Everyone seems to be pretty happy. I mean, you could zoom out to September and basically we're at the same price we were at in September on this thing.
Yeah, Apple
So
Apple loves this 150-ish area.
loves
They
150.
love hanging out here. We've seen that so many times. Look, this is 150 here, goes all the way out to actually 150, all the way out to September. And then the top of that is usually what 153 or
Yeah,
so.
Jared's saying you can zoom out further than that.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
Oh
like, you can
yeah,
go out like
yeah,
2 years. I
yeah,
mean, Apple
yeah,
loves 150. It's a giant high value area, big
yeah,
VPOC on the daily. Apple just loves it.
yeah. So we hold on, we
Peter was
just
trading Apple at 150 back in the early 90s, I think Radzilla just said.
Oh man. Uh
Oh,
probably
man. Just
Probably
kidding, Rad.
was. Let's take a look here at a coin. I see you guys throwing that one out as well. Let's take a look at coin. I think I looked at this earlier and I wasn't too excited about it. Was this one? Actually, no, this was not on our list. So here's coin, and again, I have no luck with this stock. Like there's such thing sometimes as having luck, good luck or bad luck. I have bad luck with this stock. I just never find anything good on it.
Mhm.
I just don't know what it is, but. I don't know what to tell you here. You don't have crazy volume. You're up 1.5. You have this area. This is what I can tell you. You have this area of resistance here that is having a really hard time breaking out of. We continue to slam into that, and we just can't get a good continuation. Yesterday, though, everything at around 1 o'clock gave you something nice. This was one of them, and it actually had a great start too. So it had a really nice start. So it's a hit or miss, but on the daily and on the pre-market, there's nothing that sticks out to me saying, "Hey, you have to have this on your list today." I'm not seeing that, right? opposed to what I like with Meta, Tesla, AMD, and Nvidia at the moment. That can obviously change as we move forward into the pre-market here. Let's take a look over on our YouTube chat. What do you guys like this morning? Microsoft, Melanie. Yeah, I know Melanie will be taking a look at Microsoft. BA, uh, BA, what we have here. But Schultz was giving us BA. Oh, look at the drop on BA yesterday. I did not have this one on my radar. Look at that. That's nice. Not for them, but for day traders. What is any news on BA? They're moving kind of wild here the last 3 days. This pre-market and this day here, the 14th. So
I mean, they're still kind of caught up, and I'm looking now to see if
yeah.
there's any specific other event. But I mean, obviously, banks in general have been under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Um, the other thing which could be making it drop too, which we kind of talked about this a couple of days ago. This is kind of like oil sector. I think some of these financials like BAC are actually going to start to look quite attractive to some
Hmm.
of our larger players, especially. And again, we're carrying a dividend. Oh, you're saying BA. I'm sorry, I thought you said BAC. My bad.
I thought you were
You
talking
said BA.
about BA Financial because someone said here also that Boeing is having,
Yeah. So
financing
for BA,
issues,
we
financing
got
issue with
some.
BA.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well, the
there's
planes are not
Saudi
cheap, so
Airlines, more planes. So there's a lot going on potentially with
yeah.
them.
Yeah, it's not great. BA guys, the pre-market's not going to look hot, but it can get really active. Usually the pre-market can look like this, and you can still get a good trading day like you did yesterday. Maybe a good possible right now, but again, don't put too much weight on their pre-market action. They remind me of an Oxy sometimes, where their pre-market action does not look great, and still can give you a really good move. Right now, this one here, Oxy, you can tell that their pre-market action is actually very, very active. If you look back at their other pre-market activity, it doesn't look this great. So this looks good today for the way they're setting up. All right, guys, looking good right now. The list is okay, not great, but I think it'll get better as we move forward. If you haven't done so already, guys, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. We appreciate it very much. We're sitting at 75. We'd love to get to around 200 if we can. So help us do that. If that doesn't work, Thor's smile will get you there. So Thor, give him a big smile there to make everybody. No. Smile, smile. No, my goodness. There we go. Let's get to our community events and announcements and fine tune what's kind of give you an
Oh,
update
man.
what's happening for this week.
For the record, by the way, my son, if you ever ask my son to give you a smile right before you go to take a picture, you're always just like, give me a smile. And he's just like, it's just like it's just like the funniest thing. Oh, but anyway, moving on. So, everybody out there in YouTube land, especially, this helps you the most. But for everyone in the chat room, if it's not just for the YouTube. If you've got some questions, if you need some help with your platform, if things are going on, Carlos rolls the new member onboarding technology every single time. Platform issues. Kyle goes in there every now and again. They talk about trade book. They really talk about anything you could want to know, especially as a newer trader. But again, I say this, sometimes the room, only has a few people in it because we are only bringing in, maybe a couple handfuls of people every session. So if you're a trader and you want a little bit of help with some hotkeys or something like that, you can always pop in. And my man Carlos will be more than happy to help you out with that as well. So, but big perk for all of the new members when you do come in is getting that time where you can work and then the ability to come back and dial in your platform whenever you want. Strategy Tuesdays are a lot of fun. We're next week we have Andrew presenting our boss and Dr. Andrew Aziz. He's going to be doing trade management part 2, defining stop loss levels and how to avoid averaging down. I think this is going to be a very, very, very good webinar to go through. Many of us are quite aware of the dangers of the bag hold, and then the bag hold plus the average down turns into some pretty sketchy situations that can blow up many account. So I'm really excited to hear the case for why we shouldn't do that. I think it'll be an easy case to make, but I think he's going to deliver it in a really cool way. And then we have psychology webinar on Wednesday. This one I'm also really looking forward to. This is by Rand Howell, one of my favorite presenters. He's going to be exploring the nature of your self-limiting beliefs about money and how that holds you back. I think for a lot of us, especially that come from very humble beginnings. I grew up in the country in a trailer. You can become very psychologically attached to the money you make, because you're not used to having it, and then that can create all kinds of really, really bad issues. So being aware of this going into that can really be helpful. Mentorship Thursday, which is today. I personally like to call Thursdays Thursdays. Maybe that's because Thursday actually means Thursday. But we're going to be doing a mentorship with John. That starts off at 11. John discusses with the elite members how to go everything through there. And then, of course, we have me at 8 p.m. And that's 8 p.m. Eastern. So for anyone who wants to do a little mentoring, but you want to do it while the market is closed, so you can kind of focus on what we've got going on rather than focusing on your trading, really good opportunity to come and do that. Also, all of our mentoring sessions are recorded and available the day after most of the time to everyone as well. So it's always a good time. All right, this pre-market show has been brought to you by www.tradingterminal.com. I don't know, that sounded better that way. But for all you guys who wanted to check out this absolutely awesome, I call it the trader's tool belt for me, because all of the news I've been doing this morning, I've been pulling right out of the news aggregator that's in here. But there's a scanner in here. Insider trader news, calendar overviews. You can go to Trading Terminal Academy. There's some courses in there. Heat map, charting, research. I think we have chart logging coming. I mean, my goodness, this thing is really, really got so much information, and the price is pretty good too, coming in at free, which is a pretty stinking good price. Speaking of free, we also have our free trading simulator that you can also go into. So if you're a new trader and you are looking to get practiced and getting on your thing going, but you're not ready to commit to paying for a data feed for a broker, you haven't funded a broker account, you want to just say, hey, do I know what I'm doing? Tradingterminal.com hooks you up. You can also sign up in there for emails. From our very own Eamon, we have some course study that you can get through them to help you develop some of your trade books. Really cool stuff, all for free. Still free for now. For now, speaking of free, if you'd like to come by BBT and see what all the hype is about, I will continue to put out there every day that I just think this is the coolest and best trading community out there. Prove me wrong. Come by and find out. Join now. You get access to Carlos's live onboarding session plus the chat room for the week. You can really hang out with everybody. If you're looking to get into, you're ready to get in, ready to take the plunge, 99 basic gets you the chat room every single month, along with onboarding, and then some of the courses. And then, of course, Elite gets you weekly webinars and some mentorship classes, as well as the advanced courses. That's $200 or $199 monthly. And then, I mean, come on, if you're going to do it, save some money. Just go ahead and hit the Elite. It's an annual, saves you 50%, and it gets you everything mentioned before, plus psychology coaching as well. So, I mean, this is some really good stuff going on here. And if you're really looking to take day trading seriously into the next level, there you go.
All right, thank you very much, Thor. And guys, just an update on that intro membership. I'm looking at the website now. It has been updated. It's limited time, right? It says limited time there, and it ends March 31st. So don't wait. It's not gonna be free forever. Ends March 31st. So get on there now. You're gonna have 12 strategies you have to go through. So that's quite a bit of information to digest. So make sure you do that now before March 31st. All right, let's get to it, guys. Our list this morning, we will start here with Meta. So we have Meta, which is looking not so bad. We have Tesla, which volume a little bit lighter than what we're used to seeing around this time. We have AMD, and we also have NVIDIA. So let's get some levels set, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll here. So starting with Meta, guys, high of the day on this one, we are all the way up to 202.84. So we will slam a level there. And then towards the bottom, guys, we have 200 and a penny there as the low of the pre-market right now. Towards the bottom, you got the ladder here on as far as levels, right? We've just been going higher and higher in the last couple of days. They've been doing very well alongside AMD, NVIDIA, Microsoft. All these tech companies have somewhat been doing pretty well. Above the pre-market high, we did get a nice little pop yesterday on Meta, and you're going to see this on Snap and some other social media companies. This is the TikTok issue of them being banned, right? So a lot of volume that's going to have to be distributed everywhere else if these guys do end up getting banned. So right there, you have 204 on top of that. And if we go back, Meta, the last time we were up here was April, May time frame of last year. We're going to zoom in and we're going to pick off a couple of levels right over here. 210 is a nice one. So we will slam a level there as you guys are slamming the likes over on YouTube. We appreciate that very much. And I think you're all set. Let's go over to Tesla now. Tesla, again, horrible start yesterday, but hopefully it's not going to stay like that. I think we'll bounce back and get some movement out of this hopefully
Hopefully.
today. Yeah, because this has been really good to us. So hopefully continues to do that. Towards the top, above this high 180 highs and lows of the last two trading, this looks to be like 183.66. Above that, we do have the only level I see on the daily that's good is 186.02. So we will slam a level there, and over here as well at 190. There we can put another one as well in case we run. I don't think we're gonna get that type of days. There's too much uncertainty right now, and that's what you're seeing with all these banking stuff. Stocks tend to be a little less fluid, like we're seeing on many of these tickers that we saw yesterday. Here's AMD. AMD also towards the bottom, guys. Look at the rally they had over the last couple of days, doing very, very well. High of the pre-market today is going to be very close to the high of yesterday. This is 90.38. So we'll put a level there, and then towards the bottom, the low is going to be 89.50. Above that 90.37, 90.40-ish, we're going back now to man, look at we're going back to August, September of last year. Zoom in here and pick off a couple of days. We have one right over here at 92.44, and then obviously a very nice level at 95. This is a stretch, a $5 move for AMD. You know, that's not going to happen easily. I don't think that will happen, especially with all the drama in the financial sector that we're having at the moment. So we will see. Here's NVIDIA. NVIDIA is it's looking okay. Actually, I might replace NVIDIA for something else. I like it the way AMD looks. I might move NVIDIA down and leave that spot open for anything else that might come up as we move forward here, especially once we get to the closer to the market open. So I'll do levels for either way. We'll be ready, right? In case you're watching this one, we do have 244.25 is going to be the high of the pre-market on this. And then if we head to the left here,
We just had a
um,
lot of volume come into the market.
well, this is the decision, right? On the ECB, I think
Yeah.
it's now, right? So let's
Yeah,
hang on a
I think
bit.
we just had
Ooh, 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 ooh.
some
There we go.
numbers.
Right. So their conference at 9:45, but here's the decision should be released, and you know the algos get first take on everything that's happening.
Yeah, as soon as
We'll
the
see.
notes hit the news algos, hit it and start
Yeah,
doing stuff.
they do their thing. So yeah,
We're
market's not
selling a
liking it right
lot to
now.
begin.
Yeah, market's not liking it right now. Let's see how our banks are doing. There's Bank of America, JP Morgan. Yeah, they're not loving this, that's for sure.
Normally with a squeeze, with a sudden drop like that, it'll rubber band the other direction.
Yeah, yeah. We'll let this news get digested here, but be on the lookout for this, guys. And then the conference at 9:45, so you'll be careful what the words are said there. But again, this is in regards to the Credit Suisse situation of the central bank stepping in, and
There
I
we
think it's a
go.
50 billion they gave them to kind of bail them out here. But then their rate hike, can determine if things are gonna get worse or better over there. So
I grabbed a couple futures short right at the bottom off of S4. I got a partial already at 39.05. So if
very
it
nice,
if it
very
keeps
nice.
going if it comes back down, I'll jump out. But if it holds here and rallies, I'll stay in.
Yeah, yeah. All right, excellent, guys. Let's head back. What we were looking at, Nvidia. We'll finish off Nvidia, then we'll call it a day. So we're getting a bit of a drop here, creating a new low on Nvidia. That's going to be 241 there, and then once you do that, I mean, you look at the highs and lows of the last two trading days, and you're pretty much set here as far as levels, right? So you're pretty good as far as that goes. Excellent, guys. Stay tuned to the news, tradingterminal.com. Just be in tune to what's happening. You do also have the Benzinga. Let me show you something here. We're over at tradingterminal.com. You do have Benzinga up here. You can click on this and you can hear news from Benzinga live, right? Trading Terminal. So definitely do that. A very, very useful tool. You could have this running in the background. and listening to what's happening or things are released, especially major stuff like this one right now that's being released on overseas, is going to be reported on something like that one. So take advantage of it. Tons of free stuff here, guys, as you guys know already. You got the simulator, you got the replay simulator, is scanners. I mean, look at the scanners. You got free scanners here that you can watch every morning, right? Definitely sign in. I messed up my login. I got to fix that. But you sign in. It'll keep your settings, right? So whatever settings you do here, it'll keep them, and then you don't have to keep doing them when you go forward. So, all right, over on YouTube, guys, take care, trade safe. We will see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 as we end the week. And man, what an exciting week it has been, at least for the banking sectors, right? So it's been wild. Take care, guys. Trade safe.